What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. This is a new series that I'm going to be doing, and this is Leaf hate comments or responding to Leaf related negative comments. I do try to respond to most positive comments, and you guys will see some of those mixed into this video. But I do get a lot of people that are talking a little crazy about the Toronto Maple Leafs mostly, and in other, NHL team videos, we'll get into hate comments for all NHL teams. But because I'm a Leaf fan and because most of you guys here are Leaf fans, we're going to get into this because you guys could probably see in the comments, and you guys have probably responded to some. There's some craziness going on down there, and I respond to some, but it's better if I can maybe respond to some of these comments in a video form so I don't have to go back and forth with somebody in the comment section. Now, if you are new to this channel, thank you for stopping by, and I would appreciate it if you did subscribe. I do post a lot about the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I do talk about other teams. It's just I've been talking about the Leafs more recently because there has been a ton of news that came out all at once, and I'm now just finally catching up on everything. So make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. So basically, I want to get into this now. I do believe that everybody has a right to an opinion. And sometimes opinions can get a little bit too far and turn into a hate comment. I've tried, while I'm doing this, this channel and everything like that, to not necessarily, say anything that could, be considered hate speech or anything like that. But there's a ton of people that like to put hate comments around the Toronto Maple Leafs and not have anything positive to say about them. So let's get into some of these comments now. Again, you're entitled to an opinion, but some of these comments, I'm sure you guys are probably like, damn, like this is craziness. So this comes from Frank D534. He says, oh, actually, you know what? No, this is not the bad comment. Thank you, Frank. This is a good comment. So G-Force, thank you to Frank, and thank you to Robert. These are some good comments. But and Bruce Wayne, thank you for fighting for all of everybody's safety. Some people will get that joke. All right, G-Force says, Simmons, injury prone. Thornton, too old. VC, average at best third liner. Mikheyev, soft. Anderson, not spelt correctly. Career minor leaguer. Garbage depth, Brian Burke style. Guaranteed first round exit or no playoffs altogether. Now, let me just first start off by saying Brian Burke is a Stanley Cup champion. He didn't have the greatest run when it came to Toronto, but Brian Burke has won a Stanley Cup, so probably wouldn't diss him too much. Guaranteed first round exit or no playoffs altogether. Definitely do not agree with that. And this comment came from the Leafs depth is huge video because the Leafs depth is better this year. So Simmons being injury prone, Simmons signed a $1.5 million deal. It's 1 year. It's very low risk, and it didn't cost the Leafs a ton of money. And I do not believe Simmons is that injury prone, and he's also said to be in the best shape he's been in for the last 2 years. So I'm going to take that chance, especially because, like I said, it was only $1.5 million. I do not agree that he is injury prone to the point where it's necessary to put it in a comment like this. But I think that he's going to be a fine fit in Toronto. Thornton, too old. Well, yes, he's older, but the Leafs also signed him to a $700,000 deal. The league minimum. It's again, a contract where there's not too much tied to it. It's nothing crazy. And he's probably going to end up putting up 25 to 30 points, maybe 35. He's going to be on the third or fourth line, maybe mix in some power play time there. He's still an elite passer. He still can keep up. If he couldn't, then the Leafs wouldn't have signed him. So too old seems to me like it's just a little bit, of a reach. VC, average, at best third liner. I've made a video about Jimmy VC, and I talked about him in the video that this guy commented on. He is a third liner. The Leafs don't need him to play in their top six. So at best third liner, I don't think that at his best he's a third liner. I think that he, on a lot of teams, could be a second line guy, but not a guarantee. He is definitely a third line type of player. He, this past season, didn't have the greatest season in Buffalo, but the amount of goals he scored was an outlier. He's scored 15 plus goals in the previous seasons. So I am very happy with the VC signing. Again, very cheap. You get him to near league min as well. Just an absolute no-brainer. It's not a big contract. I don't see where the problem is with getting Jimmy VC and calling him an average at best third liner. If he doesn't make the team, the Leafs have other options. That's why it's called depth. Mikheyev didn't spell his name right, but I'll give you a pass because it is a tough name. Soft. I don't know what you watched with Mikheyev, but he's definitely not soft. He's a bigger body. He threw some hits for the Leafs. I mean, when the dude's wrist got slid open by his skate, he still tried to finish the play and then skated off. So I think that this soft comment is a bit of a reach. Anderson, again, like I said, not spelt correctly. Career minor leaguer. I'm guessing you're talking about Joey Anderson. Yeah, some players don't get a chance to go to the NHL as quickly as other guys. He's still young. So yes, he's still in the minor leagues. Again, it's depth. He was never said to be. I don't understand it. Nobody's saying that he is this comment's just puzzling me. Nobody's saying that this guy's gonna be in the guaranteed in the NHL. That's why this video is called depth. So maybe you can just relax on Joey Anderson. It's not that big of a deal. So guaranteed first round exit or no playoffs altogether. I would bet my channel that the Leafs make the playoffs this year. So let's just thank you G-Force for that. Now Rick Martin, this one was funny. Brody, the guy doesn't hit and doesn't fight. Old slow Bogosian is not a boogeyman by any stretch of the imagination. Muzzin reminds me of an old slow Dion. Leafs D is still brutal. Maple Leafs blue line is not much better, sunshine. Thank you for calling me sunshine. I greatly appreciate that comment. You're a ray of sunshine too, Rick Martin. Glad they enjoy blue Kool-Aid in Leafs Island, or Leafs Land, sorry, not Leafs Island. Apparently I'm drinking too much blue Kool-Aid, and are buying into this crap. Leafs D has been the funniest thing in over a decade. The song Dreamer. Okay, and then he just goes on to talk about Dave Keon, and how the Toronto Make Me Laughs, the most original joke in the history of Leaf jokes. Good for you, Rick Martin. I hope that you're having a great day. Anyways, Brody, the guy doesn't hit and doesn't fight. The Leafs got him to play defense. If he throws a hit and fights every once in a while, great. But I don't need him to do that. I need him to play defense. The Leafs need a guy that's gonna play defense. He's played on the top pairing in Calgary. He's done well. He's played defense. That's all I need him to do. So, not everybody has to fight and hit. I really don't understand why that is a necessary thing for every single defenseman. Old slow Bogosian is not a boogeyman by any stretch of the imagination. Well, hopefully you could say something like that to his face, because I'm pretty sure you would piss your pants if you tried to tell Bogosian that he was no longer a boogeyman. You would soil yourself if he was skating towards you or even walking towards you. So let's not talk about him not being a boogeyman. He played in the Stanley Cup Finals. He won the Stanley Cup. He played with Hedman at some points. He's out there to throw hits, to fight every once in a while. And he's definitely not here to be the defenseman of the year. He's here to just hit people. He's here to bring a different element to the Toronto Maple Leafs. He doesn't have to be the boogeyman, but while he's out there, he's going to, make some people's night a little bit harder. Muzzin reminds me of an old slow Dion. Now, this just showed me that this comment makes absolutely no sense. Jake Muzzin is a fantastic blue line piece. He's the best defenseman on the Toronto Maple Leafs overall. He has a great game. He's not slow. He's not that old. He actually has been quite good. He got injured, and before that he was playing amazing. And what I also need to remind Leaf fans, and this is a video I've been meaning to make for a long time, when Dion Phaneuf was first in Toronto, that guy had no help. I mean, it was him and Kessel, and the rest of the team was garbage. So I'm not going to sit here and say that in his prime that Dion Phaneuf was bad, because Dion Phaneuf was pretty good. He had a couple of his prime years left in Toronto, and he did well for the Leafs. But when you have no help, you look worse. Phaneuf was never supposed to be a big defensive defenseman. Phaneuf threw hits and put up points. He was known as the guy that would absolutely annihilate you with a bone-crunching hit, but put up points. That's it. He wasn't good at playing defense. He was sometimes a pylon. Let's be real here. But the thing is that Phaneuf played a role in which would have been great right now. If prime Dion Phaneuf was on the Leafs right now, I mean, that would be pretty nice. A guy that, like, go and search up Dion Phaneuf hits Toronto Maple Leafs. He threw a lot of pretty massive hits that was like knocking people out. Like DaCosta, I believe, on Ottawa. Like, he damn near ruined that guy. There was a hit in New York where he popped the guy's helmet off. Like, Phaneuf would fight. In his later years in Toronto, Phaneuf wasn't that good. But in the first couple of years, Phaneuf was quite good. So I don't know how there's a comparison here, but Jake Muzzin is fantastic. Whatever. Leafs D is still brutal. It's definitely not. They've improved quite a bit. It's not much better. Definitely would say it's much better. Glad they enjoy blue Kool-Aid. I'm going to buy a blue Kool-Aid and drink it just for you in one of my next videos. But anyways, you can keep saying you don't buy into it. Law of the universe. Look at this, Colin. I love this guy. Andy's the GOAT. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate you. Law of the universe, the same thing year in, year out. The Leafs do the same thing over and over, and every year people say, yeah, they got it right. Yeah, there's been years that's happened, but this year is much different because they definitely have improved this team, and I've just explained that. Let me give you a hint. The Leafs suck. Well, you didn't really give me a hint. You just told me how you feel. That's not a hint. You just told me they suck. This much exalted offense was impotent. Are you using big words to confuse me? Impotent? Impotent? Again, I mean, you can use your big words, but this doesn't make sense. They against a mid-range team like Columbus. Columbus isn't mid. They're a pretty damn good team. The Leafs suck. Well, you're saying that again. And while they may be 1 inch better than last year, they need at least a foot. If you think they're only 1 inch better, then this comment does not make sense. They've literally remodeled half of their team. Like, they got rid of a lot of people and they brought in a good amount. Kyle Dubas did exactly what people wanted him to do, even though he is the guy that made that decision. I'm going to take this off now. And by the way, guys, I think it's hilarious. Brendan Shanahan literally said the other day that he likes players to not get injured, and his young guys, he doesn't want them to get injured, so he's not all about the fighting and hitting all the time. I'll make a video about that. But this is Dubas's team. He did what people wanted, right? He removed a little bit of their flashy, young, fiery offense with Kapanen and Johnsson, and he got a good return for Kapanen. He got a pretty decent depth piece in return for Johnsson, and he brought in Bogosian, physical depth defense. So that way Marincin isn't playing anymore. And of course everybody hates Marincin, but now they're going to hate Bogosian. He brought in Brody, a legitimate top 4, defenseman that actually knows how to play defense, replacing Cody Ceci. Mikko Lehtinen, top KHL defenseman, is going to be in the Leafs top 4 or at least playing on their bottom pair. Great pickup, probably a better fit and much cheaper than Tyson Barrie. Wayne Simmons, tough, veteran presence. Joe Thornton, tough. People seem to forget Thornton's not a soft guy. Tough, veteran presence who can dish the puck like nobody else. He's one of the best playmakers in the history of the NHL. Jimmy Vesey, good depth. Like I said, Joey Anderson, good depth. You bring Aaron Dell in, you bring Michael Hutchinson for the Marlies, so there's 4 at least legitimate NHL caliber goaltenders. Like, they've brought in so much, and yet there's still people commenting this. Like, it does not matter what Kyle Dubas does or what Brendan Shanahan says or what the team does. Matthews could score 50 goals next year and people will still be pissed off. Nylander could score 50 and everybody would still say he sucked. Like, even if Nylander gets into a fight next year, which isn't going to happen, but people would be like, oh, well, he only threw 1 punch. I wanted him to throw 3. Like, guys, give me a break. Please, for the love of God, be optimistic about this team. Please. For the love of God, please. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this. This is only part 1. I've gotten like 1 million comments like this, so be on the lookout. There'll be more. Please subscribe if you'd like. Peace.